Welcome to the Circuit of Success Podcast.
The Circuit of Success Podcast.
With your host,
Brett
Gilliland.
Brett Gilliland, Visionary Wealth Advisory.
The Circuit of Success Podcast. Let's start the show.
Welcome to the Circuit of Success. I'm your host, Brett Gilliland. Today, I've got Johnny Hilbrant with me. Johnny, how you doing?
I am well, Brett. Thank you for having me.
Well, you might have to pull out the phone so people that are watching, you can show us the filter since we can't filter on this deal. Johnny is the PE guy. If you've ever seen him right there, go there. There you go. That is Johnny for those of you watching, which is incredible that you good looking dude. And then you can turn into that guy, so it's pretty amazing. And we'll dive into the story, but you are the PE guy on social media. Somebody sent me a video that you did and for St. Louis, and you've got them all over the place now. And so I sent you a message on Instagram and said, we got to get you on the podcast. And here we are. So, man, thanks for being with us.
I love it. Of course.
Yeah. So we normally talk about, what helped make you the man you are today and all that good stuff. But I got to start first with where the heck did Johnny come from? And what made you start doing all this?
So I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, and I've always been like kind of the funny guy, but not to the masses, just to my friend group and family. And I was kind of the kid who the teachers like hated or loved to hate, I guess. They'd be like, all right, you're like troublemaker, but I would catch them laughing. I'm like, all right, I can make the teachers laugh while they're kicking me in the hallway. And then I worked in LA for 2 years in TV. I worked at the Ellen show for 2 years, which was crazy. I thought it was more fun than it was. Supposed to be like a fun, comedy environment, and it wasn't really that. So I thought, okay, well, I don't think that LA is for me. Like the comedy world of LA is not probably for me. So I left LA, moved back to Chicago, was kind of like floundering in life, but I was 24. So if there's ever a time to do that, that's when. So then I find this, specifically SoulCycle, the indoor cycling. And that was a huge thing back 10 years ago when I started. It was like the only boutique fitness place, and it was the thing in a few major cities. So I moved to New York for training, moved to Boston, and I'm a full-time SoulCycle instructor, making people laugh on the podium, but also like leading them through a workout. So I did that for a little bit, tried my hand at a couple other little jobs here and there. And then recently, a year ago, stumbled upon this character that I posted, and he just went viral kind of. And, every post since has been viral in a way.
Yeah.
Everything does. Yeah. All does. It's been a year, and I've been feeding this machine, and I've developed the character but I think I've always had a acute, like a heightened sense of awareness of everything around me. So I watch things, I look at, I'm just an observer. So I think that a lot of comedians are that. So I've just observed, and for years I've gotten stuck talking to the wrong guy at a wedding or a party, and I'm like, okay, this is the character.
Yep. I love it. So I had to tell you one of the stories that I wanted to share. It was actually in Chicago. We were at the Four Seasons in downtown Chicago, and my business partner and I, we were at a financial planning, wealth management conference, and the people can annoy the hell out of you, right? Where they talk about, EBITDA and EBOC, and they're using all these words, and then they say finance, not like finance. And it's just, for some reason, it annoys the hell out of me, right? Obviously it must you as well. And so driving up to Chicago from St. Louis, I said, you know what, we call it tiny pebble syndrome, TPS. And maybe that's too much to share, but that's one of the things we do and we joke about here. And I said, what we ought to do? Let's try to fit in TPS into as many conversations as we can and see how many of these guys won't actually say, what the heck is TPS, right? And so I was proud. I got it in 5 times in one setting is that we look at, TPS and all this stuff. And then it became this joke. And, but I was proud. I got it in 5 times, and the guy didn't even ask me what TPS was because he was so smart that he didn't want to know, right?
Yeah. He didn't want you to know that he didn't know what that was.
Exactly. So again, that's why I connect with your stuff, man. It's just so awesome. And when you hit record that first time, I mean, you shared it on social media and you were just kind of sharing it because you thought it was funny, or did you try to think, hey, I'm going to create a business out of this?
No, I had been playing around with different filters, and posting the videos, 20-second videos of a character, an old lady character, really crazy filter, like a frog. I mean, all these things I would post for months and years actually. And then that character, that filter, someone was like, this is hilarious. You should post this as a reel, and more people can see it. So I posted it as a reel, not as just as like, all right, well, this will live on my page and it won't disappear because it's a story. Yeah. So I post it just because I wanted to make more people laugh, and it turned into this thing. But I will say it didn't turn into like a business, or my mindset wasn't even that it could be a business until May of last year, when I started getting Cameo requests and business requests, people reaching out, asking if I, would advertise for them. And I was like, me, this filtered face, this because I didn't realize it's not me. So that's a complexity of the whole thing. But once people started reaching out in May, that's when I was like, oh, this can be a thing. This can be a sustaining business.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? I think a lot of people will post things because they want it to go viral, but it's something special has to make it go viral, right? And so what have you learned about that since, again, posting it just went viral? What have you learned about that?
Yeah, I think it's not replicable. It's not, if there was a formula, everyone would use it, and then everyone would be viral, and it would all be diluted. So there is no formula. There is no way, people are, I know exactly what you mean. There's lots of people who are like, I'm trying to make these videos do well, and I'm posting every day, and I'm doing all these things that Gary Vaynerchuk says I need to do. And I'm like, it might not happen for you. But I feel lucky that my attitude going into it was never, I want a bunch of followers and I want to go viral. And I want to make I know people who have quit their jobs because they want to pursue being a content creator. And I'm like, I love a ballsy move. I have done a lot of things in my life that are people are like, what are you doing? Why you moved out to LA to work in TV, and you were only there for 2 years, and you only went to one show, and you're leaving. But I've just I've always done what I know is right for me. So my advice to anybody who asks me about it is just do something that you love, and do it knowing that if only 200 people see it, you'll still be cool with that. You're not doing it for the views. And then if something comes of it, that's great. But to chase virality or whatever is just, I'm just like, I don't know, that sounds like a tough road.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, man. You're the 485th person I've interviewed. So I've been doing this for 7 or 8 years, whatever it's been. And I've never done it to get, millions and millions of views. If that happens, great. But it's passion, right? And it's that business of being passionate and being consistent. So that's one of the things I want to talk about today is, what have you learned about your consistency and building a business and building a platform from doing everything that you're doing?
Well, yeah. So I will say, while it is fun and it is everyone says if you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life. There is some truth that I love what I do every day, and I would do it without all the views and with the money that comes along with it. But I feel like I owe it to myself to see this as far as it'll go. And that requires consistency and some well thought out, to the viewer. It might be like, oh, here comes another video where he's yapping at his phone. But there's a lot that goes into this. It is a full-time thing. It's as many hours a day as I want it to be, but I want it to be as many as it can. I want it to be full. I want a schedule that's full. And I owe it to myself to be on a cadence of all right, you haven't posted in 2 days. So think something up, because, not to remain relevant, but you have this thing, you have lightning in a bottle. Don't get lazy. And how lucky are you that you don't have to go to a job that you hate? How lucky are you? Don't screw this up. So I hold myself to a higher standard in that way than I think I would ever look at another content creator or a comedian and think that they would ever. Now I have a little more perspective and a different take on it. So I have a lot of respect for people who've been doing this for a long time, because I'm like, oh, this is a lot more than just what I'm seeing. So I definitely am consistent and trying to keep myself organized, but treating it like it's a business. It's the most serious, unserious thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. Are you doing a lot of research on your own, or how do you know, like the St. Louis one, for example, since I'm here? I mean, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. Schools, everything. How did you know all that?
Well, people will send me all the details pretty much in my DMs. So if I search any city in my messages right now, it will pop up. There will be all of the messages from people saying, you go to this school, you go to this club, go to this restaurant, you drive this car. Everyone in the neighborhood drives this car. So I pretty much, it's all like crowdsourced without me advertising. I need, people are like, I really want to see you do Newport Beach, California. I'll make it easy for you. Here's everything.
Here you go.
Yeah. So then
That's
I do
awesome.
my own, let's reference it with, I go on Zillow, I search where the most expensive house is for sale in that area. And then I just say the name of that street is where my house is. So it takes a little bit of research in that way, and just cross-referencing, is this person, the person who gave me this information, is it real? Are they trying to make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about? So I do cross, and then I put together like a little like punchy script that's not, maybe there's a couple like really funny lines in there that I'll have, but it's more so just the name of the club, the name of the school, whatever. And then I ad lib a little bit as I go through the video.
I love the one. I don't know if it's a St. Louis one or a different one, where you asked the person that you're talking to what they do, and you said they're a fitness instructor, and you're like, oh, curious. And like, I always wondered how you guys pay your bills every month. And so I thought it was great, because then when I'm doing my research last night, I'm like, holy crap, he actually is in fitness, but he was just making fun of that, which I thought was pretty clever.
Exactly. That's my actual experience with a lot of people, like at weddings, who will stand there and talk to me about their job in iBanking or whatever it is. And then I'm like, and then they finally, when they've taken a breath, they're like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I teach fitness, and their heads fall off. They're like, whoa, like, you mean you like
what
run a company? And I'm like, no, I'm a fitness trainer. And they're like, oh, they're just sort of like, how could you, and I often have so I've had those interactions, and I think it's just like all of them compounded kind of made this character. Like, I think that's where it comes from, is that wet interaction with the guy or the girl who's just like nonstop. And then whatever I say won't, I'm like, oh, I hope you feel good about maybe you feel better, but I feel much better about my position here than yours. I'd rather be in my shoes than yours right now. Yeah,
it's funny is sometimes they may not even ask you what you do, because they just talk.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. What's zero self-awareness? What is the something that's happened that you didn't expect to happen when this whole thing started kind of getting crazy?
Well, I would say cameos in general. Just people wanted personalized videos. They still do. That was crazy, but I all of the monetizing of it has been shocking. But I would say being invited by companies to come to conferences or, annual meetings or whatever, the in-person stuff has been shocking to me, because I'm like, well, you're not going to get him, you're going to get me. And they're like, fine. You can make a video for our company to watch for 2 minutes, and then you'll get on stage and we'll do a Q&A. And I'm like, me? Like, you want to talk that?
And you're going to pay me?
Want to talk to me? Like, and you're going to pay me to, and but then it's kind of cool. I'm like, I bet this is what everybody feels like. I bet this is what even Tina Fey writes a book and goes on a book tour. She's probably like, whoa, these people are going to pay me to go to this thing. Like, we're all human. So it's a cool thing. It's a cool peek into a little bit of the, whatever you want to call it. Like, if it's celebrity, if it's attention, it's the good perspective that I've always had about it, I think, which from working at Ellen, I think maybe kind of the peek behind the curtain is the lights come down at the end of the day, the excitement of it all. You just, at the end of the day, it's you in the mirror, and you're nothing changes, I don't know. I'm not making $20 million a year, but no amount of money I don't think is going to make me go okay, well, now I'm more fulfilled and I'm going to bed happier. So it's cool, because this is exactly what people want. And what I want to tell them is like, nothing really changes. Like it, but I am fulfilled because I see people laughing, and that's what I want to make people do. Like money coming in, you get a little dopamine hit and you're like, cool. People want me to come to this thing. That's so cool. That I still have to eat, I still have to go to bed. I still have to think the fact that my time on this earth is finite. Like, it's. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that, man. I love that attitude about it. What's a typical day look like for you now that you're doing all this stuff?
I'd say there's between 2 and 8 videos a day being filmed. So, and those would be like, maybe 2 of them are actual things that I'm going to post. And then maybe the rest of them are like personalized either for companies or for people like, hey, Jim, happy birthday. Your wife, Karen, said she loves you very much, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. So the filming stuff, I try to block it out. So I'm upstairs in my attic where I am now, where I do my filming. I try to block it out where I do all my filming at once. And then there's the editing, which is like usually, making sure the green screen thing works and I can put a background now. And then there's things like this, cool opportunities like this, answering LinkedIn messages, answering DMs, answering inbound stuff in my email inbox, invoicing people for things. And all that should get a little bit easier. I just signed with an agency. So like they can help. I could say like, hey, can you take this off my plate? So I'm starting to find that I might need a little bit of a team around me to keep things greased, to keep the wheels greased,
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, isn't it, man? You pinch yourself yet and said, holy crap, this is real?
Yeah. I mean, anytime I'm on a plane going to something that I'm being paid to go do, I'm like, what are you like? You have this like weird, like, what is going on thing where I do have moments where I just like, I take it all in and I'm like, just remember this is not normal, Okay, flying first class to go whatever, do whatever, like just, or get used to it, but don't let it get to your head.
So, there you go.
Laugh at it. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous, but that doesn't mean it's not, like viable and serious and cool too. It is at the same time. Like, I'm like, what are we doing here? And then I pull this up and I'm like, the filter's on and I'm like, whoa, whoa, there I am.
That's funny. Yeah. You think, hopefully you don't become the PE guy.
I know. I hope I have the awareness to not do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it? So I went to the Ellen show once. My wife, I'm using air quotes here, bought it at she won it at a charity deal. And so her and I flew out and went to an Ellen show, and there was a lot of rules. Like we had to be there early. There's certain clothes you had to wear. And then they tell you where you have to sit, and they seat you in your seat. And so we got lucky. We were in the front row. I don't know what that means, if that was good or bad, but we were in the front row, which was cool. But John Bon Jovi performed. Say it again.
TV. That means they thought you were attractive enough to be on TV.
They must have thought my wife.
They would, they would hide people. So if you were front row, that's good stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was very.
And so you did that for 2 years. And what was your role there?
I was a PA, so a production assistant. Basically, one of 8 production assistants on a staff of 80 or 90. So you're basically, everybody's like, hey, I need you to go get me a straw from Starbucks. Hey, I need you to go to Ryan Seacrest's house and pick something up for me. Like cool stuff like that. And then just like, you forgot my ketchup.
Oh, damn it.
But it was cool. It was cool to like work around celebrities and be on the Warner Brothers lot every day. That was like amazing. It's historic, So it was a lucky thing that I kind of happened into that.
Yeah. It's a great tour, man. We've done that 2 or 3 times, and it's amazing how that park in there is so small, but yet then on the shows or like Friends or whatever, they make it look so big. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Movie and TV magic.
It is. It's crazy. You ever think about, so like what's the vision, right? I mean, obviously you can continue doing this thing. And so if you wake up 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now, where does Johnny see this going?
I think it's like, I think PE guy's the anchor. And then there is a world where there's like, maybe another character, maybe a family of characters. Maybe there's a TV show that's like loosely based off of the character, but is like more like realistic, but it's kind of like the Keeping Up with the Jones thing. And the character, maybe there's something like that. And there's some really strong brands that I work with that I'm partnered with. Maybe there's a book. I don't know what that looks like. But I'm open to anything. I kind of look at other people that have come before me, like comedians specifically, and I'm like, think about what they've done. And they probably they may have had some doubt, but like you wouldn't look at Amy Poehler and go like, why does she have a book? Why does she have a successful podcast? Like she just played Leslie Knope on Parks and Rec, and like she was just in a movie. Like you can do anything. So I think the possibilities are endless, and I want to keep going without losing sight of the original goal, which is just to make people laugh. So whatever I'm doing, if I'm making people laugh, even if I'm doing the same thing in 3 years and it's making people laugh, there's a reason it's still working. In 3 years, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah. What's the advice you have for somebody listening to this, whether they're creating content, doing comedy, they're in wealth management, a lawyer, whatever, some business owner? How do you stay a student of the game, right? To say what's relevant. And so what advice would you have there for people that are in whatever industry that they're in?
As it pertains to social media, or just
No, just in general, like, your mindset. You don't wake up every day and say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to grab this phone and go do this, right? There are certainly some times where you maybe not want to do it. And so what feedback do you have there on to keep that grind going?
Yeah, I often say this in my Soul Cycle classes. I say, if you are strong enough and healthy enough to be here this morning in this room, like you have a responsibility to, I say it a little bit differently every time, but you wake up every morning and you can pick up your phone and make people laugh. Or if you can get up in the morning and walk yourself to your treadmill in your basement, like there are people that would do anything to be in your position this morning. There are people that are waking up thinking like, all right, I was told I have 4 months to live 5 months ago. Like, and they would anything to be in, and it's kind of a morbid outlook, but it's the reality. So I do think that way. And it does help me because I'm like, all right, well, look, what are you complaining about right now? As far as you're strong enough and healthy enough to do anything you want to do. So go do anything you want to do.
Yeah, that's a great mindset, man. Really good mindset. When you think about the just the first time to hit record. So let's talk about that for a second. It takes courage to get on here, right? And for us, I remember when I started my podcast, I'm like, who the hell do I think I am that people are actually going to want to listen to a podcast that I'm interviewing people, and that was my self-defeating thinking back then. Sometimes still, I'm like, I don't know. I can't believe this guy even responded to me on Instagram. He's got millions of views. And it's like, I just sent out this message and he hits me back and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And even all this times later. So what advice do you have for somebody, whether it's hit record or that thing that they want to go do, or that business they wanted to go do? Where's the confidence come from? And what advice would you have for them?
I feel like you just have to, it's like jumping, like when you're skydiving, like you just have to go. You don't give yourself the choice. And like what is the worst, as long as you're not harming somebody, the worst case scenario, and something like what I'm doing, the worst case scenario is it doesn't get a lot of views. I'm like, okay, it's pretty low. The stakes are low. Try things, and you're never too old. That's another thing. You're never too old to try something. I'm 36 years old. Like, I don't need to act. No one says I can't act like a kid on the internet. As long as I'm not being mean or like hurting people's feelings or saying something messed up, like it's all good.
Yep. Yeah, it's solid. And just do it, man. Just trust yourself. Just do it. What's your favorite, your go-to lines? What are some of your favorites?
I would say, obviously it's the things on the hat. It's substantial. It's decent when talking about something that's clearly actually great. Like when you're like, oh, well, Dartmouth's a decent school. Substantial when talking about himself and his things. Due to my role is one that's really funny. Like well, I'm flying privately and kind of like leaning in and being like, due to my role. And my go.
So good.
And when I say PE, private equity.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Because people in the comments are like, why does he keep doing that? Like, it's obviously a joke, you know?
Yeah. It's because I'm not smart enough to know what PE is, so you got to explain it to me, right? Because that's exactly how it goes down. That's great. Any big events coming up, man, that you're excited about?
I don't think so. I have a couple of things that I like, in-person things that I can't even talk about because I have NDAs signed for them.
Yeah.
So,
it's awesome.
cool.
Good for you, man.
Cool,
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Substantial. So what is the hat? Is that a brand for you or what is it? I know it's the word, but
hat. That's just like, he would just be like, well, I have a substantial net worth. You know, I just, anytime I say substantial, people really caught on to that. And then I started making hats and people are like, you got to make one that says substantial. So here I am.
So I can buy your hat?
Yeah. Well, I'll send you one. You send me your address, I'll send you one.
Awesome. I'll do that, man.
I never want to, like, I don't want to put that on somebody, but if you want a hat, I'll send you one. You just send me your address.
I'll send you my address. I'll send it to you on Instagram as soon as we're done, man. I'll wear that hat and support the heck out of it, man. Share those videos.
Perfect.
Where do our listeners find more of the PE guy?
On TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at Johnny Hilbrant, TikTok at Johnny Hilbrant, Hilbrant. And I just stay tuned. Every day there's something new.
Can't wait, man. Stay with me here while I hit record or ending the recording, man. But Johnny, thanks so much for being with us. It's awesome what you're doing. Keep hitting record, man. Keep believing in yourself and keep making people laugh.
I will. Thank you so much.